Hey everyone, it's time again to recap the latest news from the solar PV industry compiled by the American Solar Energy Society. I'm Jay Warmke with SolarPVTraining.com, and this is what's happening in the wonderful world of solar for the week of June 8th. Now, recent tariff actions by the Trump administration have caused a sharp increase in battery prices, according to the Q2 Storage Pricing Insights report from ANSA, which is a solar and storage company. This battery price spike is the sharpest single jump in battery energy storage prices since 2021, a time period that includes the post-pandemic supply chain disruptions. As of 2024, China currently accounts for approximately 60% of the world's lithium-ion battery exports that are used in electric vehicles, as well as stationary storage systems. In 2018, the first Trump administration imposed tariffs on batteries from China, and in January of 2020, those tariffs on lithium-ion batteries and related products rose from 7.5% to 15%, and then in May of 2024, they increased further to 25%. In April of this year, Trump announced a 125% additional tariff on products from China, which raised the tariff on batteries imported from that nation to about 150%. This action effectively froze battery exports to the United States. In May, the Trump administration reversed its position, lowering the additional tariffs to 30%, effectively resulting in a 55% tariff on Chinese batteries. Despite the rollback and because of continued uncertainty of future tariff actions, suppliers continue to protect their margin through contract contingency clauses, according to this Q2 storage report. As a result, both the prices for AC and DC storage systems have increased 68% in the first half of this year. As the Senate reconvenes this week and begins budget negotiations, the Solar Energy Industries Administration, or CEA, is lobbying to revise the steep Inflation Reduction Act cuts passed by the House of Representatives, citing that these projected cuts will result in job losses within all 50 states. In an analysis released last Tuesday, CEA estimated that Texas and California would be hit hardest by the House's bill rollback of the IRA credits, respectively losing 34,100 and 35,700 solar and storage jobs by 2030. A report issued last week by E2 found that businesses have already canceled or delayed more than $14 billion in investments and 10,000 new jobs in clean energy and clean vehicle factories since January. E2 is a national nonpartisan group of business leaders and investors who advocate for smart policies that are good for both the economy and the environment. Republican congressional districts have been experiencing most of the renewable energy project cancellations. More than 13,000 jobs and over $12 billion in clean energy projects have been canceled so far this year in Republican districts. The analysis also found that the House-passed tax bill could trigger the closure and cancellation of 331 factories and erase $286 billion in local investment in American communities, according to CEA. The Senate is set to start budget hearings this Tuesday. The Trump administration stated that they hope to finalize the budget by July 4th. Residential solar and storage provider Sunnova recently filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Sunnova is the second national residential solar company to file for bankruptcy this month, reflecting the challenges faced by the industry as it struggles to cope with high interest rates, an incentive cut in the top market of California, as well as fears of subsidy rollbacks at the national level. Sunnova works through local installation companies to offer customers solar through third-party ownership contracts, where the homeowners lease their solar projects from Sunnova. The company owes some solar installers to which it subcontracts work upward of $75 million, according to the bankruptcy filings. Sunnova revealed in SEC documents that it laid off 718 employees, or approximately 55% of its workforce, on May 30th. And Mosaic, a residential home, solar home and improvement financing platform, has also filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Mosaic offers homeowners financing options for solar storage and other sustainable home improvements. The company has a network of contract partners as well as financial offerings. Mosaic says it intends to complete restructuring and recapitalization process supported by its existing lenders. Mosaic again blamed macroeconomic challenges facing the entire residential industry, including high interest rates and unsupportive legislation at the federal level, which has impacted its access to capital. While storm clouds may be threatening the solar industry in the United States, solar farms and rooftops in the United Kingdom generated a record 42% more electricity from January through May of 2025 than during the same time period last year, according to a new analysis by Carbon Brief. Some of the increase is the result of more solar capacity installed in recent years, after stagnating at around 12 to 14 gigawatts for several years after the Conservative government's 2015 decision to end subsidies for solar. The UK's installed capacity has recently leapt to over 20 gigawatts at the end of 2024. But most of the additional generation can be attributed to the fact that the UK has just had its sunniest spring since record-keeping began in 1910. Between March 1st and May 31st of this year, the UK had 653 hours of sunshine. That's 43% higher than average for this period during the period of 1961 to 1990. Sunshine hours in the UK have been increasing, especially since the 1980s, with spring months an average of 15% sunnier for each of the past 10 years. And that is the news from the solar industry for this week. We'll see you next week.